name is Sravan Ankaraju. I'm the founder and CEO of Divergence Academy. As an organization, we cater to U.S. military. 85% of our audience at Divergence Academy is U.S. military. We serve them. We've been serving them since 2020. And big programs that we cater to in terms of academic programs are cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, security operations management, and cloud engineering program. It's been a fantastic journey. I want to continue to uh, serve and provide better opportunities for those in transition through Divergence Academy and through our employer partner network that we have built carefully over the last couple of years. 2014 was the year when I got laid off from Microsoft, and I was at Microsoft as a strategy and innovation leader, and that was my last job at um, Microsoft. And when Microsoft acquired Nokia, there was a huge layoff, and I was one of those that got laid off. But I was also a beneficiary. I benefited from that layoff. Company was very generous. Microsoft was very generous with their severance, and I decided that I'm going to look at management consulting as an opportunity, carry my suitcase, go around the world, and start being a management consultant. But in the process, I've realized that the more I'm going to be on in the world teaching about consulting and building great talent development, building out great centers of excellences and competency centers, I realized that I was teaching. And when I thought, what is the better way to teach and then build a school? And I took those dollars, invested it forward, and started a school to help anybody and everybody that is going through a career transition, and especially in the emerging tech. For me, at that point, emerging tech was Microsoft Azure, all things data science, and cybersecurity came much later. It is more applied data science for me in the world of threat intelligence, but I took those in the world of maturation, evolution, but my background suits me from the perspective that I know technology. I'm a deep technologist. Uh, it goes all the way back to when I was 18 years old, building out uh, applications in COBOL programming, COBOL to C to C++ to C Sharp to Java. Now Python, I'm a technologist. I love tinkering. You're going to keep hearing the concept of tinkering, which is do more with the tools you have. There are a lot of thinkers out there. We can continue to deep think, but it's time to apply. So tinkering. So I'm all about playing around, tinker, integration, automation. So that's the life I've lived. Now I just apply that to ed tech, education technology, ed tech, and it's exciting to be here as a CEO and seeing evolution of technology. You know, wonderful new things that are uh, put out there, from blockchain to quantum computing to even the recent telescope pictures of a galaxy, and it kind of gives me the goosebumps that there's so much out there we can do. That technology is here to help. It's an interesting place we live in, and it comes down to the middle management. For me, when I'm looking at talent development and I'm looking at organizations that are trying to build new workforce, it comes down with the organization itself, the culture of an organization, and the middle management. And I think the middle management is going through a huge shift. There's a social and political turbulence across the world in some form or the other. There's a concept of work-life fusion. I don't think we are leaving work, we're carrying work home, or work and life is kind of getting infused in everything we do. Hybrid work, and when I say hybrid work, it is technology along with humans is becoming more and more integrated. So we are using bots and we're using Alexas of the world and we're using Siris of the world. So the middle management is a huge shift going on in middle management, and those that are going to get into that management will have huge responsibilities. That's number one. There's a little bit of a workforce and changing world going on. Upskilling and digital dexterity. What I mean by that is we are living in a world where technology is changing so fast, right? It's changing every day, changing fast, which means we have to establish within organizations continuous learning environments. A continuous learning environment, however that is going to be delivered, whether it's through learning management systems or through Microsoft Teams or Zoom, whatever the form is that learning is going to be delivered, it's going to become huge. So to deliver that, we also have to kind of build a culture where knowledge acquisition just becomes day to day as part of the operation. Number three, smart machines are going to be our colleagues, right? We cannot abandon smart machines to be more productive. We got to have smart machines. And number four is about, people are not just looking for, hey, I want this huge salary jump, huge compensation. Hey, inflation's gone up. I need bigger paycheck. But also looking for, hey, if I'm going to go to work every day, am I able to deliver to that purpose and passion, right? It's more than just money. It's more than just that salary. So organizations and middle management, above and beyond all the things I just talked about, have to incorporate that purpose and passion in everybody. And surprisingly, in this world, right, in this workforce, a world we are living in, uh, remote work has created new challenges. It's hard to establish social relationships in the workplace. You get to feel disengaged or lonely on a job. And to create that culture where remote workforce is now part of overall organization, you got to create that engagement model. So when I look at demand versus availability of workforce in this changing world, we have to do so much more for the current workforce, and the management teams and organizations have to be ready to help drive the new workforce coming into the business. I think we are in a tough world. We are in a new world and a tough world. But I think there are options. I think the maturity in businesses are helping some businesses. It's evolving and helping bring new talent on board. I able to be uh, learning, right? Creating learning organization, continuous learning environment, work-life fusion, um, purpose beyond money, right? And handling this lonely environments that people are in. I think that's what I think the issue is in 2022. But demand and availability comes down to how do you find that right talent that fits what the organization's demand is for that talent. What is the biggest issue with tech talent? And it comes down to the great resignation that's happening, right? There's a great resignation. A lot of people are have choice now in the world of technology. They can do this work remotely. They have more options, more because of the talent demand post COVID is so high. There's more and more demand for experienced people, more experienced talent, and which goes back to are the organizations invested in the new talent, right? Bringing in new talent, upskilling and reskilling them in a way that they're going to be ready for organization. If every company goes and looks at only the experienced talent, we have a problem. So in 2022, post-COVID, there is an increasing emphasis on this hybrid work, which is automation combined with people and their skills and soft skills and this automation, bots, um, Siris, and Alexas of the world. So today's world, in technology world, there's more choice for experienced talent. They're going to move, and they're going to move to remote, deliver this work remotely, and they're going to move because there is an opportunity for them to work on meaningful work beyond money, even though money is increasing, and there is increasing need for applying the skills of technology to new problem solving. It's not just about C or C++ or Python, or let's do artificial intelligence, machine learning, cybersecurity. Organizations are looking at, is my tech team nimble enough to work on new solutions? If the team is nimble enough and agile enough to work on new solutions, they can learn. They can be taught. They can be upskilled. But the problem is, with so much shift going on in the industry, do we have enough people to actually be being able to be nimble, adapt, learn, and apply these soft skills? Probably not. They're not. There's not enough talent out there. We need to cultivate that team, develop that talent in-house. Otherwise, there's going to be a huge gap from what the companies are expecting to where the talent is. I don't think there's enough talent to take us to new places where companies want us to go without companies investing in new talent. Well, it goes back to the talent acquisition strategies, right? We look at, what are your sources of talent? Where are they coming from? Are they coming from predominantly colleges only? Are they also looking at non-traditional challenges like U.S. military, for example? If there are 200,000 military transitioning out every year, what are there, is there a strategy, military strategy, military veteran strategy inside of these organizations to bring that talent pool in? Is there a fear of hiring veterans into the organization? If there is, let's fix that problem with building out that wonderful culture of mentorship and coaching so this new talent can actually transition into the civilian world. What about the the spouses, right? And military spouses. There are spouses in the US military. Also, not just military spouses, even civilian spouses, those who have left the workforce to take care of family, they are ready to come back. So they can increase the talent pool by looking at military spouses. You can look at the civilian spouses, people who left jobs, and also military in general. So we got to look at new sources of talent because existing sources of talent are in migration. They're in transition. They're moving. So you got to look at new sources of talent. So and then what about does every tech job require a STEM degree? Do you need a bachelor's degree? Do you need a master's degree? Not every one of these jobs require a STEM degree, bachelor's degree, and a master's degree. What about those non-traditional programs? Whether you're talking about psychology, philosophy, history, geography, it doesn't matter. They are folks that actually have great problem-solving skills, great critical thinking, great logic, great reasoning. There are all these skills today's world are required to build better applications because the tools of the trade, tech trade, are getting there's plenty. You know, you can do low code, no code, automation, transformation work. So what we need is people who can think and apply. And if you can think and apply, you can be taught technology. So expand the pool, increase your source of talent pool, and teach them technology, and start them to do some applications that are internal, if they're internal, specific to an enterprise. Yes, startups tend to have more and rigorous requirement that a single person can do a lot of stuff. But for enterprise businesses, which is majority where there is hiring going on, you need to be good at small detail with soft skills, and you can perform and you can bring a lot of these alternate sources of talent into workforce. That's so for that CEOs have to create that culture that they are okay, that they're okay bringing in non-traditional talent, that they are invested in institutions, cultures, structures to help them with coaching, mentoring for these young talent. Create the talent for, and I think I've heard this from MasterCard and a couple of other organizations. Uh, Young talent out there, they play games and they play whether it is um, um, pick a game of choice, and these they have curiosity. They are pretty good at doing the uh, forensics, investigation, reconnaissance, which is they are already kind of doing hacking. They kind of know that they have that curiosity, intellectual curiosity. I want to know how I can move around within a game. How do I navigate? So if you teach these um, folks that are good at gaming, you can naturally kind of train them on some elementary hacking skills, get their curiosity up, teach them Linux skills, scripting skills, and before you know it, you may have a person or two that is ready with cyber forensic skills. And they're not hard. A lot of it is tooling. Get them excited, let them play, hack the box. Next thing you know, you built a culture of cyber excellence within the organization. So CEOs have to be ready to build those structures with newer energies and alternate sources of talent and go from there. And if that culture does not exist, we have a problem. And we all know this idiom, right? We say a culture eats strategy for lunch. If you don't have a good culture, it doesn't matter what strategy you have. Who is a job seeker? That's the biggest question that I tend to think about. Is it somebody at the entry level or somebody that is experienced? I think experienced have a lot of choices, right? They can choose where to go, how to work. They can pick their battles. They can. I think the most uh, opportunity today is for experienced talent, and that talent is being picked up by organizations across the uh, world. If you have experience and you have delivered a project or two, come on in. But for entry level talent who are competing for attention to these jobs, I think there's a small challenge. This goes back to the culture. Are we is every entry level job that is out there? I mean, there's so many jobs that are still vacant, right? Because everybody's waiting for that unicorn. For that unicorn, in the we got to think about what is the job description say? Who are we looking for? Is the entry level okay to come from a non-traditional background? Are we talking about an automation skill that can be quickly learned through boot camps like Divergence? I think the answer is yes, and we need to promote as boot camps and other schools say we have talent ready for entry level jobs, right? And those jobs are ready to be picked up. I think there's a small inertia. I think it goes back to the culture of an organization. They need to just make it easy and say it's a-okay if you want to build loyal workforce for the next 5, 10 years. You got to start at entry level, groom them, build them up. Um, so my uh, take on this uh, demand and supply comes down to uh, entry level needs apprenticeship programs, internship programs, opportunity to work in a summer programs. Look at them, look at the quality of talent that's out there, and get them into the workforce. If we take care of that, I think there are enough avenues to pick experienced talent, but let's build the talent from ground up, and those issues will be resolved. Um, that's my take. That's my viewpoint. When I think about emerging tech, um, I'm thinking about a time when we are going to be working along with robots, a workforce. My world is all about creating talent for the emerging world that is coming, right? And I spend a lot of time thinking about this concept called tech to trade, right? And how do you take technology to trade? And trade is in the world of U.S. trade, trade schools. It's what HVAC, electric, plumbing, classic everyday work that needs to be done by people to take care of your appliances and your infrastructure, your home infrastructure. So when I think about it, this classic work out there where people usually are two men in a truck. And I said two men in a truck is, hey, a boss comes in with two people and they go and fix a lot of their stuff at home and they collect their check and leave. And these companies are about $500,000 a year to make in business revenue income. And so how do you take technology to trade? And I think about it even from an even bigger perspective, right? If United States, with their $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill that has just been passed, I'm thinking about what does that manufacturing look like? What do those bridge constructions look like? What do those toll booths look like? What do those roads construction look like in 5 to 10 years from now? What happens when the manufacturing comes back from United States to United States? Reshoring of manufacturing jobs. When that happens, what does that job look like? Are we going to go back 20 years and talk about automation of plants like we in 2020s? Or are we going to think about what does the manufacturing look like with Industry 4.0, industry, with all the Internet of Things, quantum computing, data centers in the ocean and data centers across the world? Are we with so much of automation infrastructure available, are we applying that technology or supplying that infrastructure to modern day problems, manufacturing issues, and things like that? When I think about all that, I think it comes down to, you know, the creating what I call a hybrid workforce. Humans can focus on tasks that require critical thinking, empathy, and creativity, while technology can do the grunt work, right? As humans, let's focus on things that we're very good at: critical thinking, empathy, creativity. Technology, let technology do its job that it does, right? So that's an emerging tech in terms of automation, automation, automation. Whether it's automation on at a highest level would be applying computation levels that are infinite possibilities, which is quantum computing. Automation with a tremendous amount of horsepower would be take advantage of cloud engineering, right? And every one of these come with a premium on security and safety. So we got to invest in security from the very beginning. Cybersecurity, automation, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, blockchain. Where does blockchain fit, right? In terms of ensuring that a transaction is legit from the start to the finish, it's recorded forever, the perpetuity, right? So we got blockchain. I'm not talking about crypto. I'm talking about blockchain. Right? I think there is tremendous opportunity to invest in blockchain. Uh, Building a robust pipeline, talent pipeline, right? We're creating a hybrid workforce. I talked about reasons why we need hybrid workforce. Building a robust talent pipeline. Where is tech headed, and how can help HR professionals help create a robust talent pipeline? We talked about non-traditional learners. Embedding learning in the flow of work. What does that mean? Uh, Continuous learning is given. Continuous learning is not going anywhere. But we got to figure out a way that learning happens while you're at work, while you're in the flow of work. Because taking time out to learn is becoming harder because there's so much going on. So how do you embed learning while you're in the flow of work? Uh, Developing skills, not just the capabilities, right? Not only skills, but also capabilities. What do I mean by that? I think it comes down to what I just said, which is adaptability, critical thinking, teamwork, emotional and social intelligence, creativity in the workforce. Technology can do a lot of work, right? It can perform a lot of work that humans do, but only humans. And I had this conversation with somebody who doing, is automation going to eat our lunch? No. Is AI is going to take our jobs? No. I think because humans are the only ones that possess the capabilities to sense and respond to change, right? Learn skills rapidly, and still thrive amidst this disruption that's going on, whether it's social or political, right? Despite all this, we are the only ones that are able to adapt to change, not the robots. I'm so excited to share my thoughts and perspectives on anything and everything related to future work. I live this every single day. I'm excited to share these possibilities. I'm share the excitement of my work and excitement of where we're going as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, and what this means to ed tech and fintech and anything that involves technology. I'm excited. So uh, next time we will talk more. Until then, see you. Thank you.